South Africa has been observing a day of prayer and reflection for the life of Nelson Mandela.
President Jacob Zuma called on his countrymen to embrace Mandela's values of unity, freedom and justice.
Well, joining us now from outside the Mandela family home in Johannesburg is our senior correspondent Brian Thompson. Brian, how are things looking there?
Well, Anton, it's been dubbed the long goodbye. South Africa now 4 days into the 10-day mourning period. The country reflecting on the life of Nelson Mandela ahead of tomorrow's massive memorial. Praising the Lord for the gift of an extraordinary man, this is the Regina Mundi Church in the heart of Soweto. In the dark days of apartheid, this was more than just a place of worship. At a time when the leaders of the resistance movement were under the close watch of the police, this was one of the few places they could meet and strategize without fear of arrest. The service here in Soweto, one of thousands taking place across South Africa today as the nation stops and remembers the life of Nelson Mandela in a day of prayer and reflection. To many in the congregation, Nelson Mandela was more than just a resistance leader. He was a friend and neighbour, a man they called Tata, father, a man that people like Joy CHAUK had met many times.
I think I'm grieving and celebrating at the same time. We have to celebrate the legacy that he has left for us. I mean, I am here today, happy, free, elect, everything because of Nelson Mandela.
A short distance from the church stands the house that Nelson Mandela returned to when he was released from prison. The street on which the house stands, filled with thousands of South Africans who've come to pay their respects. Among them, former members of the armed wing of the African National Congress, as well as members of the local motorcycle group. A community in which nearly everyone has a story to tell about Nelson Mandela.
We started building from about 1978, 79. It took us 3 years to build a house.
THEMBA MADI grew up here just a street away from the Mandela home. He fondly remembers meeting him just after his release from prison.
He was tall, he was remarkably tall, wearing a t-shirt and a cap. Simple man, you know, down to earth. He didn't speak in big languages at all. He just used simple words, and his simplicity and the feel of him being around here was just fantastic.
THEMBA's aunt lives directly opposite the Mandela home. At times like these, she shares her front yard with the world's media. She will never forget the day that Mandela was released.
And we were so happy to see him going out of that car in his yard. And he just turned back and waved, smiled to everyone. That was the best smile we have ever seen.
SELINA lost her husband earlier this year. The TV crews she is sharing her house with, providing her with welcome company.
I didn't expect like this. Even the kings, they don't get this attention. I'm very
Well, tomorrow's memorial here in Johannesburg will be held at the football stadium that hosted the last World Cup final. It holds around 90,000 people, but with more than 200,000 wanting to attend, the government here has arranged for the service to be screened at 3 additional sporting facilities, including Ellis Park here in Johannesburg. A staggering 60 heads of government are on their way here for the memorial service. The US President bringing 3 of his predecessors, as is the Brazilian President and the British and Canadian Prime Ministers, the Australian Prime Minister and the opposition leader due here shortly. The government here cancelling all military leave in order to provide the tightest of security.
A huge day ahead, Brian Thompson there. And as Brian said, Australia will be represented at the memorial service by both the Prime Minister and the opposition leader after Tony Abbott invited Bill Shorten to join him.
Mr. Abbott says it's appropriate because both major parties campaign to end apartheid in South Africa.